All right, good evening, and I'm Tiffany Williams, NewsTalk New England, here at the Worcester Army Recruiting Office with a really special story. We've been trying lately to give people a feel of different community stories and success stories. And joining me today is a young man who grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, Specialist Pazzi. First of all, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Worcester, and I was here in Worcester until I was like about 13, and then I moved to Northborough, Massachusetts, where I attended Algonquin Regional High School. And from there, I decided to enlist in the military. It was June of 2020, and ever since then, I've been enlisted in the military for 2 years. And since then, my whole life's changed, like for the better, of course. But yeah, I've gotten so many opportunities through the Army, and I've just became just the person I am today because of it. So
Tell me a little bit about, that point where you decided, I'm going to join the Army, and what was that deciding point for you?
Well, it was I think it was sophomore year of high school. That's when it really hit me that I had to start like thinking about college, and my future after high school. And I was kind of sort of in denial because I didn't really want to go into the military at first because I wanted to go to college. I wanted to be like everyone else, but I knew my parents weren't going to be able to financially sustain me in college. So I was like, okay, I should probably consider the military more. So then I looked more into it, and I went down that route, and that's when it really like hit me that I was gonna join the military, and the Army was the best option for me.
You told me before we went on that you played rugby and you did track as well.
Yes.
How did those prepare you? Those sports prepare you for your military training? Yeah, your basic training.
Yes. Well, I know for running, it's like a super endurance sport. So when I'd find myself in like difficult situations, physically, like having to push myself on a rock, or like just having to run super like at a decent pace on a 5-mile test that we had in military training, I found a lot of comfort knowing that I had that background, like cross country, track. I knew I could push myself because I knew that the pain was temporary, and that it was better that I just pushed through it, and then in the end, I deal with it later. But and rugby it just gave me like the ability to push myself further, because before cross country I didn't play any sports, so rugby was kind of like new ground for me. So then the sport kind of just showed me how I'm stronger than I know I am. Like it was a more physical sport. You hit people, you tackle people, and that kind of just helped me like physically prepare myself for the Army.
What is your current MOS?
I am 11 Bravo. Infantryman. So right now I was stationed in Fort Riley, and that was pretty much my job there, and that's what I enlisted as.
So as an infantryman, so you've decided now you want to become an officer?
Yes.
And now you want to go to West Point. You've been accepted to West Point, correct?
Yes, I have.
What was that feeling like? Because I know that's hard to get into, West Point. What was that feeling like when you got accepted into West Point?
It was kind of a surreal experience, to be honest, because like the whole process was super quick. So it was November of 2021. I got in, and then I got the option to apply, and then from there up until end of January was when I had to submit my application, and then after that it was all in God's hands. Like I was like if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. Because there was really like no bad outcome of it. Because like I was gonna apply, and if I didn't get in, I didn't get in. If I did get in, like even better, I got in. But when I got news, I was in NTC. I was on a training exercise for a month. We were sleeping outside for a month, and then my company commander brought me in front of the whole company and was like, here, Specialist Pazzi got into West Point, and like it was like a complete surprise to me. Like I was like, really? Like did I? Like I was like really hoping for that moment, and it happened, and I'm super thankful for everyone who helped me and like everything that built up to that moment. So
To me, growing up in Worcester, what advice would you have for other younger kids that want to join the military, but also who believe that, okay, this is the end of the road, you know, what's next, but you get into West Point? How do you give them hope?
Well, when it came to me, I just I had the mindset of just keep pushing, taking every opportunity I could, because opportunities like for people who aren't so who don't have that much like their circumstances aren't that good, or like financially they're not doing that well either. Any opportunity is a good opportunity. So that's the mindset I went into going into the Army. After joining, like if my NCOs, my leadership asked me if I wanted to take up a leadership role, I was like, absolutely. Like the experience is amazing. Like I want the experience. And yeah, from then on, like I just take every opportunity you can, and just like make sure that you take the utmost like time to absorb every information you can. So later on down the road, if another opportunity that comes along, an even better one than the one that you had before comes along, you can, I don't know, add it to your to your belt, and just like keep going in life, and just make sure that you keep growing.
So when do you start at West Point?
This Monday, July 11th. So I'll be leaving pretty soon.
How excited are you?
I'm really excited.
What does your family say?
They're nervous, but they were more nervous before I went to basic training 2 years ago. But now we kind of like have some experience in that area, like me leaving and not being there. Cause like before, that was like the longest I was away from home from my parents. So now I'm kind of like, okay, this is kick. Like this is gonna be easy. It's only 3 weeks of basic training, but yeah. So it's super fun.
I gotta ask you, the Army-Navy game is coming to Gillette Stadium this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right here in Massachusetts, where you're from. So, who are you gonna be rooting for?
Of course, I have to be rooting for the Army. Even though last year they did lose, the Navy did beat them, but this year I'll be right beside the Army.
So, success is something that you have to take for granted every day. You have to look at it and face it and go after it, and that's what you've pretty much done. And where do you go from here with West Point? What's next with West Point, and then after West Point?
Well, at West Point, just like I did in the real Army and like the enlisted side, I'm gonna make sure I take every opportunity I can with my skill sets. I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking every opportunity to learn, to absorb every piece of information that they give me, because West Point's like top notch, like Ivy League academy. So I want to make sure that I take the most information I can, the most experience I can out of there. And then after that, I'm gonna commission as an officer. And as an officer, I'm gonna make sure that the Army becomes a better place because I'm in it. I take everything I've learned through the enlisted side and the commissioned officer side, like, and make sure that just things keep getting better, and like I become a good leader myself. So, yeah.
All right. Once again, Tiffany Williams to NewsTalk New England here at the Worcester Army Recruiting Office with Specialist Pazzi. Congratulations and best of luck. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be yourself.